There are many reports that estimate about 5% to 8% of school-age kids have ADHD, but the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, now puts it at about 11%. From 2003 to 2011, there was an increase of 42% of American children ages 4 to 17 that were diagnosed. Studies have shown that up to 60% of children and adolescents with ADHD will continue to have symptoms as adults, and approximately 4.4% of the adult population in the United States has ADHD. That means about 8 million adults are affected. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, also known as ADHD, is when a person is unable to control behavior due to difficulty in processing neural stimuli accompanied by an extremely high level of motor activity. According to both the CDC and the National Institutes of Health, ADHD is one of the most common behavioral disorders that happen in childhood. When discussing ADHD, there are many different things you can talk about. There's the symptoms, the facts about ADHD, myths about the disorder, positive effects of ADHD, and the different types of medications. By knowing what ADHD is, you can better understand why some people act the way they do. All children have moments of being hyperactive, impulsive, or inattentive. However, children with ADHD experience these symptoms repeatedly. The symptoms are severe enough to have an impact at school, at home, or in social situations. In addition, these behaviors may not seem appropriate for the child's age. A lot of people don't know that there are three main types of ADHD. There's predominantly inattentive, predominantly hyperactive, impulsive, and a combined type. No two people have the same experience with ADHD, but there are many common symptoms. Some of the symptoms that fall under the inattentive category are failure to pay attention to details, unable to keep attention on tasks, difficulty listening when spoken to directly, losing things you need, being easily distracted, and forgetting things in daily activities. Then there's the hyperactivity symptoms, which are fidgeting with hands and feet, unable to remain seated when it's expected, feeling restless, difficulty with quiet leisure activities, and talking excessively. There's also impulsivity symptoms, which are blurting out answers before the question is finished, being unable to wait your turn, and interrupting other people's conversations. Some other symptoms are saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, the inability to keep powerful emotions in check, resulting in angry outbursts or temper tantrums, and guessing rather than taking time to solve a problem. To be diagnosed, these symptoms must have been present before the age of 12 and not be better explained by another mental disorder. They must clearly interfere with social or academic functioning and have been present for at least 6 months. Many people think that ADHD is a male problem because boys are twice as likely as girls to be diagnosed, but that might start to shift as researchers learn more about how the condition shows up in females. Here are some myths associated with ADHD. All kids with ADHD are hyperactive. The fact is that some children are hyperactive, but many others with attention problems are not. Some children who are inattentive but not overly active may appear to be spacey and unmotivated. Another myth is that kids with ADHD can never pay attention. The fact is that children with the disorder are often able to concentrate on activities they enjoy, but no matter how hard they try, they have trouble maintaining focus when the task at hand is boring or repetitive. Kids with ADHD could behave better if they wanted to, is also a myth. They may do their best to be good, but still be unable to sit still, stay quiet, or pay attention. Children may seem disobedient, but that doesn't mean that they're acting out on purpose. Many people think that kids will eventually grow out of ADHD. The fact is that ADHD often continues into adulthood, but treatment can help manage and minimize the symptoms. Medication is the best treatment option for ADHD is a myth. Although it works, it might not be the best option. Effective treatment for ADHD also includes education, behavior therapy, support at home and school, exercise, and proper nutrition. Although there are challenges, there are also positive traits associated with people who have ADHD. Children who have the disorder can be very creative and imaginative. The child who daydreams and has many different thoughts at once can become a master problem solver. Children with ADHD may be easily distracted. but sometimes they notice what others don't see. Children with ADHD are also very flexible when working through problems because they consider a lot of options all at once. They don't become set on one alternative early on and are more open to different ideas. Enthusiasm is another positive effect that ADHD has on kids. Children with ADHD are rarely boring because they're interested in a lot of different things and have lively personalities. Kids with ADHD also have a lot of energy and drive, which makes them more motivated. So they work or play hard and strive to succeed, which actually could make it difficult to distract them from a task that interests them, especially if the activity is interactive or hands-on. Choosing an ADHD medication can be a difficult decision to make because there are so many different medications to choose from. Medication for ADHD may help improve the ability to concentrate, control impulses, plan ahead, and follow through with tasks. Even when taking medication, it will not fix all of the problems. The child might still struggle with forgetfulness, emotional problems, and social awkwardness. It's very important to also make lifestyle changes that include regular exercise, a healthy diet, and sufficient sleep while taking ADHD medication. ADHD cannot be cured by medication. Medication can help relieve symptoms while being taken, but once you stop taking the medication, those symptoms will come back. Also, some ADHD medication works better for some than others. Each person responds differently and unpredictably to medication for ADHD, so it should always be personalized to the individual and closely monitored by a doctor. The most common type of medication prescribed for ADHD are stimulants. Stimulants have the longest track record and the most research to back up their effectiveness for treating ADHD. Ritalin, Adderall, and Dexedrine are some of the medications in the stimulant class. Stimulants are believed to work by increasing dopamine levels in the brain. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter associated with motivation, pleasure, attention, and movement. Many people taking stimulant medications have a boost in concentration and focus while reducing hyperactive and impulsive behaviors. There are short-term and long-term dosages of stimulants for ADHD. Short-acting stimulants must be taken 2 to 3 times a day because they peak after only a few hours. Long-acting or extended-release stimulants are usually taken just once a day because they last 8 to 12 hours. The long-acting ADHD medications are often preferred because people with ADHD often don't remember to take their pills. So just taking one dose a day is easier and more convenient. There are also side effects of stimulants for ADHD. Some side effects are feeling restless and jittery, difficulty sleeping, loss of appetite, headaches, upset stomach, depression, dizziness, a racing heartbeat, and tics. Stimulant medications can also cause personality changes. Now that we've discussed the symptoms, facts, myths, positive effects, and different types of medications associated with ADHD, we hope you can better understand the effect of ADHD on adults and kids. Since about 11% of school-age kids have ADHD, the next time you see a kid acting out, it could just be that they have ADHD and it's not being treated.